Hi Esme, how are you?
Hi, good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I'm going to begin by asking about that sort of nervy wait between series when you're kind of, obviously, I'm sure this is such a brilliant role for you and such a brilliant performance and I'm sure a great experience. Were you quite nervous waiting to hear back if you got that second series, and how did it feel when you found out that it had been greenlit?
I didn't think about it too much. I was really focused on my own projects in the interim. So, I mean, it was a really pleasant surprise, but it wasn't at the forefront of my mind.
And did you find the atmosphere to be different at all in the second series? Maybe just off the back of the fact that it had been so well received. Was there an almost like not a swagger, but was there a sense of people kind of feeling like they were really in their flow because of knowing that the audience was so receptive to the first season?
The team was completely different on the second season, but there was a lot of camaraderie and everyone was very supportive. And it was a wonderful group of people to be working with.
So what can you tell us about the sort of development of Hanna going into the second series? For fans who obviously who loved the first season, what can we expect differently of her going into this new story?
I think it will be really fun for fans of the show to watch the relationships evolve between Clara and Hanna and Marissa and Hanna.
Yeah. I mean, it was obviously such a great role for you to get your teeth stuck into. I mean, such a sort of strong-willed, brilliant female protagonist. It must just be a real thrill as an actress to play a character of this nature.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very exciting, and I feel really fortunate that I'm able to sort of get involved in something this big, and hopefully it'll enable me to do things in the future that are equally as exciting.
So do you find that you sort of learn from characters, and particularly this character, when you're playing someone who's so sort of strong mentally and physically in this instance, do you find that even just accidentally you sort of adopt traits from them and sort of put them into your everyday life, sort of thinking, what would Hanna do in this situation?
I don't think so. I think I like to separate my work from my personal sort of arena. And I just like to show up on set, learn my lines and do the best I can do on the day. And put it to bed when I get home.
But did you keep up the kind of physical side of things? I mean, obviously you've had to do yoga and boxing and martial arts and all sorts to play this character. Is there anything that you've enjoyed so much that you've kind of continued to do it in your sort of own personal time?
I definitely discovered a physicality that I didn't know I had, and I have I've really enjoyed maintaining that, so that in case of picking up again, I have that in my toolkit ready to go. And I also think it's important, if you're playing a character like that you are, even if you're not doing all the fight stuff, that you maintain a certain level of physicality, to just have that be a part of your movement and your character development.
Has it been hard in lockdown to maintain that? Because I know a lot of, I mean, obviously, if you leave now around London, everyone's running. But have you been able to sort of get up and get out a lot during the last couple of months?
I have a dog, so she gets me out. I have to walk her twice a day. And yeah, actually, I've actually probably done more physical stuff in lockdown just out of sheer boredom, and the time to do so.
Have you managed to sort of stay creative in this time? Because obviously it's been a lot of people are using this as real downtime, real sort of reflective time, just sort of to catch up on TV series and to take some time to themselves. But have you found that it's been sort of quite good, sort of stimulating for you creatively?
No, I think it's one of the most anxiety producing times of the last, I don't think it's possible to really sit there and I can be creative. I like painting and writing and things, and I've done some of that, but I think the anxiety is prohibitive, to do with climate change and racial inequality and global pandemic. I don't feel like baking sourdough and watching.
Yeah. On my Instagram, it seems everyone I know has been baking sourdough though for some reason. But in regards to Hanna, I mean, do you reckon have there been any talks maybe to do more? And is it a character you would be quite keen to reprise again one day?
100%. I mean, I think the show definitely deserves to be explored further, and I really hope we do a second season. But that's a question for David and Amazon.
So how involved is David? And do you ever sort of find yourself speaking to him a lot on set and sort of asking him sort of questions, or does he like to take a bit of a step back when it comes to the actual shoot?
Well, I mean, he directed the last 2 episodes of this season, but aside from that, he's sort of at his desk.
Do you quite enjoy having kind of a variety of different directors? It must keep things quite fresh, because I guess if you make a movie, sort of every day you've got the sort of same filmmaker, but when you kind of do a TV series, every filmmaker will bring their own kind of sensibilities and ideas about what they want. Is that quite a nice way to work?
100%. Yeah, I think that that it definitely brings a fresh dynamic every time. And working with Ugla and Eva on this season was fantastic. They're both really talented, and I really enjoyed sort of sitting back and letting them just help me to get into it. Yeah, 100%.
My very final question was just, obviously Joel was such a huge part of the first series. Just wondering if did he come and sort of visit the set at any point, or did you kind of speak to him at all during the second shoot?
I didn't know, but his performance was so good in the first series that it set us up really well for the second one.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck with the series, and hopefully if there is a third one, we'll be able to do these interviews in person. Who knows?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey You